Welcome to Living Marvelously with me, Laurie Jonas. This is the show where we unleash the marvelous potential in every woman. Are you ready to dream big and leap into a life you love? Don't let the expectations of others choose for you. Step out of your comfort zone and learn how to create what your life looks like. I'll take you on an inspirational journey, helping you tap into the wellspring of your inner strength, get clear on your life purpose, and unleash the vision you came into the world to share. On Living Marvelously, you will learn about personal development, self-care, and spirituality. And together, we will connect with others, sharing their unique energies, and learn to create a world that allows everyone to shine. Living Marvelously starts now. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Living Marvelously with me, Laurie Jonas. So last week, I went on a retreat in Palm Springs with my coach and mentor, Stacy Hartman. She is a genius when it comes to spiritual abundance, and I have learned so much from her. So I'm really eager to share this topic with you today. And by the way, Stacy is joining me on October 10th to talk about the 7 powers of potential, where we block it and how to shift. And it will be a must listen to 1-hour show. So I'm excited about that, but more on that later. Let's get back to today. Our topic today is spiritual abundance, from scarcity to prosperity. You know, often we hear the word abundance, and sometimes it feels distant, like something we can't quite reach, like abundance seems too much. But I'm willing to bet you already have plenty of abundance in your life, because spiritual abundance is this deep sense of fulfillment, peace, and contentment that comes from aligning with your higher purpose and trusting in the universe. And it's not just about material wealth, but about feeling rich in love, feeling rich in connection, feeling rich in inner joy. Spiritual abundance is this belief that you have everything you need within and around you. And it leads to a mindset of gratitude, generosity, and real trust in life's flow. It's the opposite of scarcity thinking, where lack and fear dominate. So instead, it embraces the idea that life is abundant in ways that truly matter. So today we're going to explore how to shift from a mindset of scarcity, where we feel there's never enough, to one of prosperity, where we embrace the idea that the universe is abundant and we are deserving of its gifts, because it's really all up to you. You can be swimming in abundance or living in lack. So what's your mind telling you? Find the little things that you appreciate in every area of your life, because those little things turn into the big things. I want you to think about what abundance feels like to you, what it means to you. So I don't want you to compare where you are with anyone else, because this is your life that we're talking about. And this is a really important exercise, and one that I walk through in my Infinite Possibilities for Abundance course. So what are the areas of your life where you feel that you are lacking? And where do you feel truly prosperous? If you look at all areas of your life, where do you feel fulfilled? In which do you feel dissatisfied? Because it's really all about awareness. So I'm talking about areas of your life, it's, of course, relationships and love. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's, a big one, of course, when we're talking about abundance, is always money. So look at all the areas of your life. Where do you feel good? Where do you feel unfulfilled? So let's start by understanding scarcity, because scarcity is a mindset that tells us there's not enough. If someone else has something, that means I can't have it too. Whether it's time, money, love, or opportunities, when we believe there's a limited supply, we start to operate from a place of fear, like, oh my gosh, they already have that. How come I don't have it yet? If they already have it, it's too late for me to get it. You're afraid to go for it because you see other people already having it and there's not going to be enough for you. So we hoard, we worry, we really compare ourselves to others, and we even start to shrink ourselves because we don't dare to dream big. We're afraid of being disappointed. So maybe you've experienced this because we live in a world that really bombards us with messages of not enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough success. And we really internalize that. We begin to feel like we are not enough. We don't live up to what the world expects us to. But here's the truth. Scarcity is an illusion that you create. The universe is abundant. There's enough for everyone, more than enough, in fact. Because if you think about it, not everybody wants the same thing. Maybe you would be so happy if you had $10,000 in your bank account so you could pay off some bills and just live the beautiful life that you would like to live. Or somebody else is thinking, you know what? I really want to get that $1 million year. I really want to make $1 million. It's all over the place. Lower than that, higher than that. There's so many different things that people are looking for and what they consider abundant that is not the same. So never compare yourself to somebody else. It's all about what makes you feel fulfilled and happy. So we just have to learn to recognize it. We need to trust the universe. We need to tap into the universe. And in any area that you feel lack, recognize the potential. Trust that you are in a moment of time, and with one thought, you can instantly be abundant in that same area. Does that sound too easy? It all starts with belief. Because first, you have to recognize that abundance is your birthright. It's not something you have to chase after or earn by being perfect. You're already connected to the source of all abundance, which is infinite and limitless. When you align with this truth, you begin to see how everything you need will flow to you in the right time and in the right way. You can get way too heady and overthink everything. So just relax and know that your abundance is inevitable and go with the flow. Like my mom Marvel used to always tell me, and I never knew what she meant. We just need to go with the flow of life. Go after what feels good to you and then let the universe bring more back to you. So as I wrote in How to Use the Law of Attraction every day, never think you can't have something because you absolutely can. Not everyone is wishing for or dreaming of the same things. You don't have to worry about taking them from anyone else. And by attracting abundance to yourself, you are not limiting someone else. There is enough for everyone. The universe is pretty special in that way, that if you're asking for prayers for you, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're taking away that attention from somebody else. There's enough for everyone. So go ahead and pray for yourself, pray for others. There's plenty to go around. All right. The second step is gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful energy shifter. When you focus on what you already have, in this moment, like I mentioned before, instead of what you lack, you start to see just how rich your life really is. It's almost like magic. Suddenly you begin to attract more things to be grateful for. It works similar to the law of attraction. What you think about you bring about, right? So if you're thinking about how grateful you are for all the beauty that's in your life, you're going to see more beauty. And lastly, take inspired action. So trusting in abundance doesn't mean you just sit back and wait for things to happen. It's about putting your dreams into motion while knowing that the universe has your back. You act with the confidence that what you need will come to you as you take those steps forward. This is a big lesson, and it's really hard to learn. You just have to, you just have to do it, and then you have to feel it and see it happen with small things, and then just keep going, and maybe it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So start taking baby steps and pay attention to the path that the universe will set out for you. I'm going to share a little quick story with you. I have dreams of spreading my message further. I have a blog, I wrote a book, started a YouTube channel, I've done a few speaking engagements, and those are all baby steps towards a more vibrant career on a bigger level. And I am thankful for everyone that has listened to or read my messages, and I know there is more coming. One of the opportunities that the universe put in front of me was this radio show, and I didn't even know it was available to me, but it was the perfect thing. And I trust that it is another step to more abundance. So what in your life can you say that you have given, you've taken baby steps and you're trusting of what's the path that's being set before you? See if you can recognize anything. Because, abundance doesn't show up out of nowhere. It needs room to flow. Sometimes we're holding on so tightly to our limitations, those old beliefs, that negative thinking, or even clutter in our lives, that there's no room for new energy to come in. And one of the best ways to create space for abundance is through decluttering, both physically and mentally. Physically, this might mean going through your home and letting go of things that no longer serve you. Mentally, it might be releasing those negative thoughts that tell you you're not deserving or that life is a struggle. Remember, your environment and your mindset reflect your beliefs about abundance. So here are a few practical ways to start shifting your mindset. Be aware of your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself, right? What thoughts are you having about abundance that are keeping you from being abundant? Are you telling yourself that you can't have what you really want? Are you telling yourself that you will never be able to make the money that you want? Are you telling yourself your business will never be successful? Watch for that pattern of thought and try to shift them. And you can do that through affirmations. And I have a whole show on affirmations that you can go back and listen to. A few other practical ways. Just be open to the infinite possibilities that are out there. Really challenge your limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are those thoughts. They're what you've been taught in the past that maybe aren't even true anymore. And watch what you talk about with other people. How are you telling other people that you lack in a certain way? If somebody says to you, gosh, you really look good today, what do you say to them? Are you saying, why, thank you? Or are you saying, oh, I actually took a shower today. I don't always look this way. Watch what you're saying. Watch how you talk to other people. Make big goals and start taking those baby steps that we talked about. Make sure that you are pushing yourself in that direction. Learn some new skills. Follow your joy. What are some things that you really would love to learn how to do? Journal is always going to be on the top of my list for really opening up space. Putting things down on your journal to really clear your mind, getting all that mental clutter out of there, putting it on paper and letting it go, or coming back to it later. Share your gifts. Your gifts are really important and they're yours alone, and no one else has your gifts. So you need to share them. And really surround yourself with abundance-minded people. Make sure you are not always in the environment or in the fellowship with people who are very negative. Like, get yourself out of that. Those are all ways to shift your mindset and put you in a place where abundance can be more available. All right, we need to take a short break. I'm Laurie Jonas, and you are listening to Living Marvelously. When we come back, we're going to dive into how to make space for abundance in our everyday lives. And I'll share some practical tips to really help you tap into prosperity. So stay tuned. All right, we are back on Living Marvelously with me, Laurie Jonas. Before we continue, I want to invite you to check out livingmarvelously.com, where you will find over 300 blog posts, all written to inspire you to reclaim your power to live your most marvelous life. I just get fired up when I talk about this stuff. So if you're interested, there's more out there for you. Okay, let's continue our discussion. So I want to go through some examples of where scarcity might show up for you in your life, especially women in midlife, and how you can start to shift your mindset. So if we look at time, in midlife, you may feel pulled in multiple directions, especially if you're caring for aging parents, adult children, grandchildren. You may feel there's never enough time for yourself. You know, we as mothers or fathers or whoever is taking care of the children, when we become parents, we are in the stage of life where it's all about other people, right? It's all about what we're expected to do for others. And then we get into midlife and we're thinking, oh, it's time for ourselves. And then these other things pop up. We're taking care of our aging parents. Maybe there's some adult children that still need some help. And then we have grandchildren who, of course, we want to spend as much time as possible with. And this is really where boundaries have to come in. And you have to make yourself a priority. You can't get hooked into taking care of others for all of your life. You have to create some space for you. So shift some of that love that you give to everybody else to yourself so that you then have more to give to others. You really have to prioritize your self time, and it can just be tiny little things. And that's where your abundance comes in, because instead of feeling like you have a lack of time, you're creating time. You're deciding how you're using your time, and that will make you feel more abundant. So sometimes women often feel that the time is running out to pursue passions, change their careers, or start new ventures. And there's a sense that it's too late to go after your dreams. That is definitely a limiting belief, because that is not true. Think about it. Is that really true? What if you only have one more day left? Use that day to do something that you really are passionate about. So go for it. Be more intentional with your time of how you're spending it. How much are you giving away? How much are you taking for yourself to really pursue some of those passions? And are you giving away time in a career that is not fulfilling you? You know, if you're in midlife, maybe you're approaching 60 like I am, and you're thinking, you know what? I don't have that much time even to work in the workforce. Is this really what I want to do? Maybe it feels comfortable. Maybe you're like, well, I have to have insurance, all these things. But if you can find something that really makes you happy, all those other things will probably work themselves out. So I want you to go for it. Be more intentional with your time and how you're using it. All right, physical energy and health. So physical changes in midlife can lead to a feeling of scarcity around health and vitality. You know, menopause, that weight gain that we don't even know what the heck happened, reduced energy it really leaves women like us feeling like their best years are behind them. Have you ever heard people say it sucks to get old, right? Everything kind of falls apart in your body. Well, first of all, don't talk like that. And second of all, really invest in your wellness. Like, what are some things you can do? Maybe it's time to not do so much hard, strenuous cardio. Maybe you go into more simple things like Pilates or yoga, or even in just investing in, maybe it's a little therapy, making sure that you have somebody to talk to about all these changes. Maybe it's, maybe I'm going to go on a different type of diet now that I'm at this age because that's going to help my body just work more appropriately. There's a lot of things. So invest in that because that's abundance. If you're feeling like you have not great health, that's lack. Abundance is doing what you can to make it better. And then again, we talked about this already, but with so many possibilities, taking care of your own health and wellness, it sometimes feels like a luxury, like you're giving time to yourself to do all these when you should really be taking care of somebody else. That's again another limiting belief. Don't say that. That contributes to a feeling that they don't have enough that you don't have enough energy or vitality. You really celebrate what your body can do and take care of it. Financial security. So some women feel that they've hit a career plateau or they worry about being financially secure for retirement. I'm sure that's more than some. That's a lot of women, especially if you've taken breaks to raise children or if you face some job instability. But really, it's really important with money to know where you are. Where are you at in your finances? Where do you need to be to live another 20 years? How much do you need? Because when you really start to look at it and you pin it down and you know what's actually true about your finances, it may change your total perspective. Because just thinking, oh my gosh, I have to have enough for retirement. Maybe you already do have enough for retirement. So, or maybe you don't. And then you know, okay, I got to work part-time. So find something part-time that you can do. So that feeling of lack is really keeping you from the feeling of lack may not have to be there, is what I'm trying to say. Shift it, look at it, see where you are, and make some good choices. Identity and purpose. So this is really important for midlife women, and it's one of the things that I am most passionate about, and one of the things that my mother probably didn't understand before she passed away. So children will leave home. We feel like there's a void. We question our purpose. So the scarcity of meaningful roles in our lives, now that our primary caregiving responsibilities have shifted. This is so important that if you're at that stage, you have so many gifts inside you. Reignite those passions. Really think about, what is it that I would love to do? I've got some time now. Let's figure it out and just see the abundance that will overflow. Relationships, you may be experiencing some scarcity around love, whether maybe you're facing a divorce or an empty marriage or difficulties in finding new relationships at this stage of life. But if that's where you are, change your narrative. Find what you love. If you can be somebody who you would love, that person will come. Even if feel like you're in an empty marriage, what are some of the things that you want your partner to change that you can change in yourself first? All right. Opportunities. Women may feel that there are limited opportunities for growth or reinvention. So we believe that, societal norms dictate that midlife is a time to slow down rather than explore new possibilities. I laugh at that because that is absolutely not true. It is not a time to slow down unless you want to. If you want to slow down, you go right ahead. But there are so many possibilities for you out there. And then finally, self-worth. I really want to talk about this. So there's a culture that glorifies youth. Midlife women feel like we're washed up. We aren't seen anymore. We're undervalued. We're overlooked. We're irrelevant. But if you think about it, how much wisdom do you have? How much wisdom can you impart on some of those younger women out there who may be struggling where you have struggled at that time in your life? Really affirm your values. And I know you can be a huge resource. And that's where your abundance will come from, seeing what you can give to others. You are worthy of it. So, as we wrap up today's show, I just want to remind you that the journey from scarcity to prosperity is a process, but it's one that's entirely possible for each of us. And it begins with shifting your mindset, believing in abundance, practicing gratitude, and taking inspired action. Because the universe has more than enough for everyone, including you. You're not the one being left out. And the more you trust in that truth, the more you will see it manifest in your life. Because abundance isn't just something for a lucky few. It's something you can tap into every single day. All right. Thank you for joining me today on Living Marvelously. I hope you found some inspiration and a new perspective on what it means to live in abundance. And as always, feel free to connect with me on my blog, social media. Let me know how you're making space for prosperity in your life. And like I mentioned before, next time I have a very special guest. So Stacey Hartman, my coach and mentor and friend, is going to be joining us to talk about the 7 powers of potential. You don't want to miss it. So until next time, live marvelously. Thank you for listening to Living Marvelously with me, your host, Laurie Jonas. Tune in next time to unleash the marvelous potential in every woman, every second and fourth Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as I help you choose a life that you are passionate about. Learn to embrace your unique self, dream big, and leap into what you choose to have your marvelous life look like. Together we create a world that allows everyone to shine. For more information, visit livingmarvelously.com. That's livingmarvelously.com. See you next time on Living Marvelously.